Hey everyone, I am Kyle Green. I am the professor of your course. You can call me Kyle, you can call me Professor Green, you can call me Dr. Green, although I'm not a huge fan of that. Unfortunately, I cannot be there on the first day of class. I have a doctor's appointment that's been lined up for about a month and a half, and unfortunately, it falls on Friday, which is when we begin. In retrospect, it's probably the best day to have to cancel class because the goal is just to go over the syllabus, and I'm going to do that virtually. So that's what you're going to see in the rest of this video. If you have any questions before I see you on Monday, feel free to email. I'll try to get back to you on Sunday, but mostly just keep those questions, right? Read over the syllabus on your own. If you have any concerns, bring that to class and we'll get to talk that through. And then we'll get right into the material. So in this video, I'll go over the syllabus and then I'll talk about what I want you to do for Monday, what you have to do for reading, and then prepare you for the class. The other thing that I'll say is that I am going to enforce and be pretty strict about the mask policy in this class. Have a good mask and wear it. Now, it is true that for vaccinated people, this strain of COVID, the dominant strain currently Omicron, does have more mild symptoms. That's on average. That means some of us might have extreme reactions if we get sick. The other thing is we don't know the immune systems of the people around you, right? So don't just do it for you. You've heard this over and over. I'm sorry to repeat this message, but the thing is I'm excited about being in person. I like the format of us all getting to have this seminar style discussion. It doesn't work quite as well online, right? I want this to be the only time that you're processing me talking to you through this medium. So again, wear the mask. We'll try to keep each other safe, and I'm hoping for a great semester. I will see you on Monday. Final thing I'll say is for those of you taking more than one class with me, that's great. I love seeing faces across my 3 courses. You're going to see an overlap in the style of teaching. There won't be anything that overlaps in terms of actual readings. Some of the discussions might overlap as well, but you're going to see this part of the video 3 times, and then it'll be different when you get to the syllabus. So again, apologies for not being there on Friday, and I look forward to seeing you all on Monday. Email me if you have questions before then. Otherwise, just show up ready to talk, and we're going to get right into the material. All of you are in Sociology 357, which is called Questioning Masculinity. You already know the time of the course, you know the room location. I recommend you read through this first part. This is my attempt to tell you what we're going to be exploring, what we're going to be doing this semester. This is useful, right? This is the reason I took the time to write this is because I think it will provide some value to you. Won't take long, right? Only a paragraph. And then this is the goals. This is what I actually expect you to get from this course. This is something that you can hope to walk away from. If I succeed in my job, if you put effort into the course, these are the things that I think will happen. So just skim through this section. The other thing that I'm going to ask you to do is on every syllabus that I put together, I always choose a few pictures that I think capture some of the themes that we're going to explore in this course. In Questioning Masculinity, I specifically chose these 3 pictures. So next time we're going to start class and we're going to talk through what we think these pictures capture. And as you'll see when we get to the actual reading for the next few classes, the first week is all an introduction. We're just trying to brainstorm what is this idea of masculinity? Why is it worth considering? How is it different in different cases? How is it similar in different cases? So just start brainstorming now. Use these pictures to get your mind going. Other key information. And again, I'll go through this pretty fast. You have a chance to read through this on your own. Next class, we'll start off by, I'm going to open it up and any of you can ask questions about if there's anything confusing, if there's anything that's not clear, let me know. Things that are important. I'm located in 206 Hartwell Hall, same building as the classroom. My office hours are on Tuesday and Thursday from noon to 1, but I have a lot of flexibility on those days. On Tuesday and Thursday, I'm holding office hours via Zoom, in part because it's nice to get to talk to you face to face through the computer, rather where we can actually see each other's faces rather than in my office where we have to wear a mask. However, if you want to talk on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have classes, but catch me in my office and we can always set up an appointment. I'm happy to talk to you and take advantage of office hours. It's not just if you're having a problem. It's not just if you missed a class. It's not just if you're confused. Stop by to talk about research opportunities. Stop by to talk about things happening in your life if you want. If you think I have any wisdom on it. I don't know if I will, but feel free to talk to me. For this class, you only need to buy 1 book. There's 2 readers that I go back and forth between for this course. I think there's 2 that are probably the best about this topic of masculinity or masculinities. I'm going with this one this time. I think it's a little bit better, but you'll see that we have readings from both. So sometimes you'll see I have scanned readings from the other book that I'll make available on Blackboard. In terms of the course requirements, you'll notice there's a few key sections of the class. They're all worth the exact same amount. right? You have quizzes and reflections, which we'll talk about. You have to be a discussion leader twice, or no, actually 3 times. You have to have a field note assignment, which I think is a really fun one. Content analysis assignment, which I think is also fun. I try to choose assignments that I enjoy. You have a final project that you get to choose in a sense, and there'll be a group aspect to that, although you do get to work individually, so don't worry about the pressure of working in a group. And then participation is extra credit. This is common to a lot of my courses. I don't like to force people to participate. If you're someone who likes to be more passive and likes to sit back and just reflect on what's going on, just enjoy the conversation, maybe you're doing a great job, you're doing all the reading, but you don't really want to participate, I don't think it's fair for me to punish you, right? That's your choice in this class. This is not a class that's based on teaching you how to speak publicly. I have another class that does that more. If you ever take sports, politics, and protest, in that class, you do have to speak more. But here, you can sit back and be more passive. However, if you speak in class, it makes it better for everyone, right? If you participate, we've all been in classes where no one participates, and it's awkward. We've also been in classes where people speak more, and it builds more of a community. If you speak, you can earn extra credit. It could be asking a question. It could be asking clarification on a reading. It could be raising your hand and saying, I don't understand what that means. It could be giving an example from the book. It could be an example from your own life, right? All those things make the class better. So speak and you'll get rewarded. I'll take notes as we go through the semester. Other things that are important. I don't like exams in my classes. There's not a single exam in any of my 3 classes this semester. I don't think it's a good way to assess sociological ideas. The only class that I have tests social theory. That's the only one. There are short quizzes. The quizzes are basically a way to check in that you're keeping up with the reading, that you're keeping up with the lectures, that you understand what's going on. Never trick questions. Again, it's just a way to see that you're keeping up. It also is a good way for me to understand what you don't understand. If a lot of people get a question wrong, that means I'm doing something wrong. You also have in-class reflections. For these activities, I'll give you something to write about. If you've done the work and you try, you'll get a good grade. So it's more about you working through ideas. Sometimes it'll be you watch a documentary and you have a worksheet. Sometimes it will be, I just want to see what you think of a particular example. This varies, but we'll have a bunch of them throughout the semester. This is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. Not complicated, but this is a little bit more specific to the course. Next thing you have to do is I teach this course as a seminar, meaning it's an upper level course. I almost treat it like a book club in a sense. So what I want you to do is I want you all to participate, but on 3 classes during the semester, you are going to serve as a discussion leader. Now, that doesn't mean you're responsible for just leading the class by yourself. I'm the professor, right? This is within my area of expertise. So I'm going to lead us through the reading, but you're going to be very active in helping me. And in part, what you're going to do is you're going to provide a short outline of the reading before class. That's going to include what you think is the main point and a few discussion questions. And I'm going to expect all the discussion leaders to be very active participants that day and maybe ask some of those questions, maybe to give their sense of what the key takeaway is. The other thing that's really useful is if you come up with examples. So maybe you say, I don't really understand the reading that much, but it reminded me of this. And then we can work through that, right? So I just want, in a sense, there's 3 days where you have to be really active and you're graded on that. You're helping make sure that class works, that at least 4 of us are having a really good conversation. Next thing is a really fun assignment, field notes. For this, you go out in the world. You choose any place you have access to. And again, this is a little complicated due to COVID, so we'll think about that as we go through the semester. But you're going to choose some place that you can observe masculinity playing out. It could be, I've had people do it at restaurants where they work. I've had people do it at fast food restaurants even, which people have gone roller skating, people have gone to sports games, people have gone to a bar. I had one student go to a strip club. Have had students go to, actually one student observed their parent at work who was a firefighter. You choose, go somewhere you're comfortable, but also go somewhere you find interesting. I'll get into more detail about this later in the semester, but basically you write detailed notes and then you write analysis based on those notes where you make links to class. You do a very similar thing in content analysis, except instead of going into the world and observing something, you're observing commercials, right? You're choosing a series of advertisements. Could be a series of movies, but that's a lot more difficult. And then you're going to do the exact same thing, observation, then analysis. The final project of the class is, as a class, we're going to choose a few topics that we think specifically relate to contemporary masculinity, things that you can relate to. Then, based on the topics we choose, you jump in that group. You're going to talk through your ideas with other people in the group, but you're not required to actually work with them. You can if you want, right? So you could have a group of 5 and everyone's like, we all work well together. We're into this. We're not going to do our own thing. What you come up with better be good because there's 5 of you working on it, but you have a choice if you actually want to work with someone else. So you're going to jump into one of those groups. You're going to work on the topic. And what I want you to do is come up with something visual, meaning don't do the standard paper, right? I want you to capture something about the world through photos, through interviews, through a short documentary, through making a series of memes, through interviewing and creating a poster, through doing a critique of current policy and proposing a better way that it could go, right? Maybe it's a performance even. Maybe you're someone into dance and you want to do a dance performance based on it. Maybe you're someone into music and some of you want to write a song based on it. What I want you to do, I say visual, but it could be a auditory as well. Just don't do a standard paper. And that's the final project. Read through the rest of this, talk about a little bit about writing, talk about formatting, talk about the rules of the classroom. I don't think I have to discuss any of that with you. You're upper level students. Only thing I'll point out is don't be late, or if you're going to be late, just let me know in advance, right? It's winter. There might be bad roads. I get it, but try not to be late because it's disruptive. The other thing is attendance. I want you to be there. You do better if you're there. I take attendance because Brockport requires me to do so. It doesn't count for your grade. That's up to you. If you're missing class, in my sense, you're missing material and you're hurting yourself. I'm not going to punish you for missing class. However, you can't make up what you miss if it's an in-class reflection, if it's a quiz, unless you email me in advance. If you email me in advance, I am trusting. I'm treating you like an adult. Things come up in life. You have something at work. You have children and you have a responsibility. Your car isn't starting. Email me in advance and you can make it up. After the fact, it's too bad. You missed. Unless you have some documented excuse, right? But the point is, just be responsible for yourself. You don't get to make things up unless you have a good reason to. But I don't just drop letter grades for missing. It's just that you lose, your grade is hurt because you miss things. If you need any sort of special accommodation, talk to me. Go to the Brockport's office for students with disabilities. They can provide an official letter, but really just talk to me if there's anything in class that's not working. I think that is basically it. So look through the syllabus on your own. Tell me if there's any questions. For Monday, what I want you to do, first, look at these pictures. Think about what type of ideas or themes related to masculinity they bring up. Then, as I said, first week of class is all about introducing ideas. So we've got a podcast. You only have to listen to the oil rig section, right? There's a whole podcast, but only listen to the oil rig section. You've got a article about Tyson Fury, who's the best heavyweight boxer in the world. And then you have a photo essay. 3 things seems like a lot. Trust me, this is not a lot. The article is short and easy to read. The podcast is interesting and easy. I try to use a lot of podcasts. I like podcasts. I have a podcast. This shouldn't take you that long. But all I want you to do while you're listening, looking, and reading is, again, same as those pictures I told you about, just start brainstorming and thinking, what is this course going to be about? What does this have to do with masculinity? In what ways does it take something that we take for granted and make it strange? That's one of the basic goals of sociology, make ordinary things strange so we can better analyze them. So that's all I want you to do for Monday. You can read ahead for what we're doing on Wednesday and Friday, but I look forward to seeing you, and it should be a great semester.